In this video, I'm discussing the layout and overall design of the interior of the van. So we have Malcolm, who is building our van, and this is his current van. And a lot of what we're doing is adapted from what he has. Most notably is this kitchenette, and we are doing this exact kitchenette. So the first thing you'll notice is the kitchen sink, and it has that faucet that's flexible and will be able to pull to the outside. And we like that so that in addition to using it for the sink, you can also pull it to the outside and use it to even shower or just wash off a kid's feet, whatever you need to do. So we like that feature of having the kitchenette extend out beyond the sliding doors of the van. We're going to be using this same butcher block countertop. As you can see, it's quite a bit of counter space. And the one thing that is most notably missing is some kind of range top. We're planning on using a 12-volt induction cooktop and see how that goes. And if there's any issues with that, we'll use propane instead. Looking a little bit more closely at some of the kitchenette features here, a nice big kitchen sink was one of Heidi's big requests. Something big that you can actually use makes it feel a lot less like you're living in a van. I already mentioned the functionality of the faucet, and we may actually add an extension to that as well. Our countertop, I mentioned the range. Another feature is that we're going to have a top-loading freezer and fridge. So the countertop actually will be cut in half, and that far right drawer there that we're looking at right now, that will actually be sealed, and that will be where the freezer fridge is, and you'll just open this countertop from the top to get into the fridge and freezer. We'll have this same exact drawers up top for storage of food, and we'll also have a microwave. We were uncertain on that, but then we thought of all the benefits of reheating leftovers if we go to a restaurant, popcorn, corn dogs, you name it, Hot Pockets. Um, we could see the great utility in having a microwave. And then there you can see some more storage above the kitchen sink for all those kitchen things. In fact, storage is one of our big concerns. That kind of shows the kitchenette. Now you're looking at Malcolm's van. He has bench seating, and that's where his kids sit. We're actually going right there. Instead of bench seating, we are putting a triple bunk. He only has 2 kids. We have 4, so we need a place for them to sleep. So a triple bunk is going right where you're looking right now. There will be no windows. It will just be one kid on top of another, on top of another. Every time I say that to people, they say that that sounds miserable. And we'll let you know if it is. But for right now, we're approaching this as an improvement on tent camping, not a replacement for a hotel room. So triple bunk there. And then here in Malcolm's van, you've got this king-size bed. Instead of that, because we're doing a triple bunk, we need a place for the kids to sit. So we're doing a bench on the left and a bench on the right that will be facing a table that's on metal poles in the middle. Those metal poles will then be removable. The table can come down and be flush with the benches on either side. And the cushions from the benches can be pulled out to make what will be just about a king-size bed in the back. So instead of that bed, we're doing 2 benches with a table that will convert into a bed, and there'll be some overhead storage there. So now we're standing outside the van looking in towards the kitchenette. And one feature that you can see that Malcolm has that we're going to use is a little spot that you can reach from the outside and inside, so you have better access to put shoes or anything else, but the plan is shoes. It also takes advantage of that step well there and utilizes that space to some degree. So we'll be doing the same thing here with that shoe well. The one thing that we will add is right here, we are going to have a table that can pull down towards the outside so that if you're hanging out outside, you have somewhere to put drinks or food, that sort of thing. Here you're looking in again at Malcolm's van, so that our triple bunk will end here where that desk is. And so where that desk is, we'll have a spot for a seat. And in that seat is going to go this exact same toilet setup. So it'll have a toilet that you can pull up and use, but it's not going to be permanent or built in. We'll try different things. For now, the plan is a bucket that seals with pine pellets in it. And the reason I like it not being built in is you can use it inside if it's freezing outside, but if the weather's nice and you'd like to use the loo outside, you can grab the bucket. You don't want to be in the room with the van, or you want to keep the stench outside, grab the bucket, take it outside, use as you need. So having this sort of toilet setup gives the option of using it inside when it's cold, but also being able to pull it to the outside if you don't want to be stinking up the guiding principle here, though, will be to preferentially use gas stations and anything other than this toilet. Very nice feature here in Malcolm's van. You can use a garden hose, attach it there, and that goes directly into your water tank system. So the water tank is going to be 42 gallons, which is 160 liters. 160 liters of water weighs about 350 pounds. So there's no way you could pull out the tank, fill it up, put it back in. So this allows you to fill it up with a garden hose. Nice, not only because it's impractical, but I'd hate to have smaller tanks and be pulling them in and pulling them out. So this allows you to avoid all that and fill up the water directly from the outside. So here's a look at how we're going to be applying all these things from Malcolm's van to our van. So here's the van, very early stages, just electric wiring, and then the fan and the AC are in. So in this van, as we discussed, what you'll be looking at here would be the bench seating with the overhead storage above that. And that bench, I'd be standing right where the table is in the middle. So bench on the left facing the table, and then over here to the right, you'd also have a bench facing that same table. The windows will be framed, and you'll have the windows on each side, and then the overhead storage above both of those bench seats. So now looking to the back of the van, again, bench seat on the left, bench seat on the right, facing that table that can convert to that king-size bed. As you move back, on the left now, where that tape starts, you're going to have the beginning of that kitchenette. And on the right, where the tape starts, you have the beginning of that triple bunk. And moving back, you're going to see the extent of the kitchenette. And again, that kitchenette is going to hang over into the outside. And you can see that far edge there where that tape is going to be the end of the sink, kitchenette. And then here, looking to the right, triple bunk there, extending as long as the tape. And then you'll have that extra seat there where the toilet's going to go with overhead storage above that. And we are also planning to have overhead storage above the driver's compartments because storage is going to be and is a big concern of ours. You can see that we already have the van in that opens to the outside, helps with air circulation. I think I said van, I meant fan. And then here's that fresh air conditioning unit that I talked a bunch about when I discussed the shopping list for the van. So that's it. Overhead storage, kitchenette on the right, the toilet seat right behind the driver's seat that hopefully we rarely have to use, and if we do, we can pull it to the outside. The triple bunk there on the left, and then where the tape starts, you're going to have the two benches facing a table that can collapse down to a king-size bed. Here's a look at the van as it stands today. The most progress has been made just with the interior. So the shiplap is in, using shiplap siding, insulation's in, electric's in, solar panels haven't been hooked up yet. But there you have a look at that fan that we just looked at. And we'll be looking right at the toilet area, the triple bunk area. There's Malcolm, right where one set of bench seats will be. Notice no windows where the bunks are. both so people don't look in, and you probably don't want that light there while you're trying to sleep. Um, and there's that air conditioning unit. And then on the left, triple bunk with a toilet with a window above it, and then there's the kitchenette also with a window above it, and then the storage will be up there. So the feature that seems to catch most people's attention is the triple bunk. Everyone says it sounds miserable, and again, I say this is a replacement for tent camping, not for a hotel room. So this is actually the framing for the triple bunk, and you can see I'm laying underneath it. Now there is going to be 3-inch mattress space, so I'll actually be higher up, closer to the bunk above me, where I'm laying now, than where it looks like if I'm laying on the ground. But you can see you will have room. You won't be able to sit up in bed by any means, but you won't have your face smashed either. Gave myself a few inches below my feet, and you can see I have a few inches, maybe 3 inches above my head. So there's room for an adult, but this is designed for kids. I just wanted it to have room as they grew. That's it. That's where the van stands today, and we'll keep giving updates as progress is made.